Oh, hey Mianza, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to shop online and use MyUS. You understand? Let's get it. So the first thing you want to do is obviously look for your product, whatever product you're trying to buy. Just look for it and then add it to your cart, right? In this instance, I'm not going to be doing the whole searching process, right? We've already got the products that I used. So what you want to do is you want to create a MyUS account if you don't have one already. They're going to give you an address, you understand? Once you get that address, you're going to add it onto whatever platform you're shopping on. So if you're using eBay, you're going to add your MyUS address onto eBay, you understand? Once you do that, you're gonna shop for your items, add it to your cart. Once it's in your cart, you're gonna buy it and then send it to your MyUS address. You understand? But for now, we're gonna see how you should look for products. So whatever product you're looking for, there's a few things you need to make sure of. You understand? This was the original ad that I got the product from. What you want to do is read the description from your seller to make sure that whatever you're buying is legit. Now, as much as there's a description here, this is the eBay description. It's better to read the description that is written by the seller, you understand? Because they will tell you if there's anything wrong with the items. If there's no seller description, I would advise you to probably look somewhere else unless it's a die-hard situation. So anyway, guys, this was the original ad that I got the MacBook from. You understand? Now, what you want to do also is to check the ratings of the seller. As you can see, it says 100% positive. So you really need to pay attention to that. I've seen an ad where the seller had like a little bit of a poor rating, and when I read the reviews, apparently the seller was trying to get people to send money outside of eBay. So if a seller writes in the description, message me before you buy or anything like that, just avoid it, because they're probably gonna ask you for funny things, and once you do anything outside of the platform that you're using, they can scam you and you're gonna be at fault. Okay, so for example, I'm using eBay. If you decide to message the seller and they do anything outside of eBay, if anything goes wrong, eBay will not be able to resolve your problem. You understand what I'm saying? So in this instance, we had this MacBook and 100% positive rating. You check the description, it shows that the MacBook was okay, it was in good condition, and everything is proper. It does say in very good condition, and I'm not gonna lie, the MacBook is in good condition. Like, it looks brand new. I've already done the unboxing. I'm making this video after, you understand? But y'all, when I tell y'all that MacBook looks so new, this seller was definitely looking after it. What you can also do is click on the seller so that you can see other items. Right? When you click on the seller, it shows all the reviews, but this might be for different items. You understand? Another thing that I wanted to mention, right? Let me go to the Xbox. So this was the Xbox right now. I want you to pay attention to something. When shopping online, it's very important to pay attention to the pictures also. You understand? Why I'm saying this is because sometimes people, they can lie. My advice to you now, if you want to buy something on eBay or you're buying anything, always get the pictures, whether it's new, pre-owned, open box, refurbished. It doesn't matter what the condition of the item is, but you really want the original pictures that was taken by the seller. Once you see an ad with pictures from the internet, I would advise you to not buy, because a lot of the times the item might be in very poor condition, and then the seller is going to use items from the internet and then make it look like it's like a brand new thing. So you really want items that is got the original picture, right? For example, this Xbox, if you look at the price of this Xbox, it's $260. And getting an Xbox at that price, especially now, we literally about, I think, 3 months away from GTA 6. You understand? So Xboxes and PlayStations, all the prices, they sky high. I remember at the beginning of this year, I saw PlayStations here in South Africa for like 10,000 rand or some sort, and now it's literally 20k. The Xbox at some point, a brand new Xbox was like 5,000 rand, around this price, and now it's literally 10,000 rand. So one of the things about this Xbox, now back to the pictures. If you look closely here, this Xbox got the original pictures now. But if you look closely on the controller, there was this black line. You understand, in that one. Now, obviously, if the seller was able to remove it, they would have, because you can sell it at a higher price if the controller is in, looking like in a new condition. You understand what I'm saying? But it was very obvious to me that they could not get whatever that is off. And I'm not gonna lie, when I got the Xbox and it came through, I tried to wipe it with a cloth. I tried to wipe it, it didn't want to come off. So that stains or the scratches, it appeared permanent, right? But the reason why I took it was because I knew how to fix those things, obviously. You understand? Just look at the original pictures and make sure. One of the things that I noticed is that the Xbox itself was in good condition, so I wasn't worried. Obviously, it was just the controller that was a problem. And with the controller, you can obviously get another controller that, your favorite color or something else, you understand? So that's why I wasn't really worried about the controller. But either way, I was able to fix it. It literally looks as good, it literally looks brand new, you understand? So it really was worth the save, and I feel like I did save a lot of money when it came to this purchase, and that is the whole point of using eBay in MyUS, you understand? So now to get back into the video, we're done with the whole understanding of how to buy, you understand? So like I said, once you figure out what you're gonna buy, you're gonna add it to your cart. Once you add it to your cart, you just click on buy, and then you send the items to your MyUS address. No. So in this instance, both items, the MacBook and the Xbox, was paid on the 7th of July, and then the Xbox was delivered on the 13th of July. I remember the Xbox, it came first. And then the MacBook, I think it was delivered on the 15th of July. Yeah, as you can see, the MacBook was delivered on the 15th of July. So they obviously gonna come at different times, but the thing that I like about MyUS is that you can actually ship more than one thing at a time. So you have about 2 weeks. So whatever you order obviously must arrive within that 2 weeks time frame, so that MyUS can consolidate them. And then once you're ready to ship your items off, you can send a shipping request like I'm gonna show you now. Once all your items arrive at MyUS, you're gonna see the weight, you're gonna see everything about the item, you understand? And you're gonna see the total cost of all your items, right? And they give you a breakdown. When it comes to MyUS, you've got two options. You can either pay customs and duty or duties and taxes on the app, or you can not pay it on the app, and then you have to wait for your courier to actually send you an email or to notify you about your packages, and then you pay the duties and taxes to the courier. Now, my advice to you is to pay the customs and duty. Just pay everything that you can on the app. The reason why I'm saying this is because if you don't, you're gonna end up waiting extra time. You understand? If you pay all your duties and your shipping charges, and if you just pay alles at once on the app, then what happens is the package will literally come straight to your house. No customs holding up, no waiting for this, no waiting for that, no, like, it's a whole lot of admin, I'm not gonna lie. You've got two options between FedEx and DHL. You understand? I use DHL. But you honestly you can choose whatever suits you. DHL and FedEx, they're the ones that will allow you to actually pay on the MyUS app. You understand? So like I said, in my instance, I use DHL. And here is a breakdown of the fees. The shipping charges, the duties and taxes, shipping preferences. Shipping preferences includes the insurance or enhanced protection. So it's protection in urgent handling. You understand? Then you've got the consolidation fee. Consolidation fee will only apply, well, if you have got more than one packages. You understand? And then lithium ion stickers. Unfortunately, because the MacBook has a lithium ion battery, so you have to pay. You don't have a choice. You have to pay for the lithium ion stickers. You understand? But if you're buying stuff that is not with the lithium ion batteries, then you won't really get this lithium ion sticker. You understand? One of the things that I really like about MyUS, now I'm gonna explain why this is so important or why it was important to me. As soon as your item arrives at the MyUS facility, they're gonna take a picture of what they received. You understand? And it's important because like I had a previous problem with another company. I'm not gonna mention their name, but if you know, you know. I bought the phone on eBay. The seller sent the phone, but then when it came to South Africa, they sent me like an empty box with a cable. You understand what I'm saying? And then when I tried to get in contact with the customer center, they were busy. They were like sending me all over the place. They were trying to gaslight me. No, they were gaslighting me for real, and I did not appreciate that. But at the same time, like I said, it, it is what it is. It's over. It happened, and at least now I know not to even fucking bother at that point. You understand? But this is why it's very important. For the MacBook, they took this picture. So for these pictures, you'll actually see it in your MyUS suite. No? So when you go into your MyUS suite and you look at when you're managing your location, it's gonna show you. And what I like is that this was actually for free. I didn't even have to pay. So at least you know what your package looks like before it gets to your destination. That way, if anything is missing, then you know it was your courier service and not MyUS. The only thing is they're only available in two countries, which is the United States of America and the United Kingdom. Okay guys, so once you submit your shipping request, you're gonna get your invoice, right? So your invoice is a detailed breakdown of everything, you understand? From your billing address, your order number, and your requested service. As you all can see, I use DHL Express, you understand? So you pay your consolidation fee, and then you've got enhanced liability protection, and that's basically like the insurance for your items through DHL. Now, when it comes to this thing now, like I said, MyUS, they take pictures of your item before it gets shipped. If anything goes wrong, it has to do with customs or your courier. Sometimes it's not the courier, but sometimes it's customs, you understand? So just pay for the enhanced liability protection. I honestly advise you, especially if you're buying high value items, like in this instance, you understand? Then you've got lithium ion stickers, your shipping charges, and urgent handling. I did pay for urgent handling because you really want to get your products as soon as possible, you understand? And then you've got duties and taxes. All that was paid on the app. Like I'm saying, as much as it might seem more expensive, like it might seem like the more expensive option at first, but you're paying for convenience. That's what I can honestly tell you. Because like I'm saying, once I submitted the shipping request, it literally came. It took 5 days, not even 7, not even a week. It took 5 days. I sent the shipping request, I think, on a Saturday, and then the items, they arrived yesterday, which was a Thursday. So that was actually impressive. So as you can see, that's all the total cost for the MyUS, and that was 266. We can round it off to 270. You understand? That's how I do it. So you can just round off to 270. Now, one thing you must also remember is that they work based on weight. So you're paying for weight. You understand? They repackage your items. That's what I like about MyUS. Instead of having all these unnecessary big boxes, they just repackage everything and then you pay for the weight of your item. So obviously, the more the items weigh, the more it's gonna cost. You understand? And if it's got lithium ion, apparently shipping lithium ion batteries. I know, I don't know if it's still currently happening, but MyUS, they did say that they're not shipping batteries from the United Kingdom. So unfortunately, there was a waste of money, but luckily I didn't pay that much. But I never got the item. It got stuck in review. And when I contacted them, they did say like we can't, unfortunately we cannot ship batteries from the United Kingdom. So yeah, just check and make sure whatever you're trying to buy, you know, they'll be able to send it to you before you make, especially if it's a big purchase. MyUS is then going to send you an email. As thank you for submitting your ship request. We look forward to preparing your shipment. They give you a detailed breakdown of the weight and then they give you tracking and they also show you who the packages came from. As you can see, the Xbox was the one on top and then the MacBook was the one at the bottom. Now, when you look at the date that it arrived, MyUS, they've got their own processing time. You understand? For example, I know the Xbox, it arrived first, and on eBay, it did say it arrived on the 13th of July, but it's only reflecting on the 14th year on MyUS. You understand? And then the MacBook, it came on the 15th of July, but on MyUS, it's reflecting on the 16th. So obviously, that's just including, I'm sure it's including the days that it arrived. You understand? Because they probably have a lot of packages arriving on one day, so they have a lot of things that they need to process. You understand? So as you all can see, the selected is urgent handling, enhanced liability protection, and collect duties and taxes. That's what is, you know, for MyUS. And then they got your shipping address and your preferred ship method. Okay, so once you make your shipment request, it's gonna then send you an email from DHL to say that your shipment is on its way, and with the information, the label, your address, and any shipping preferences that you've made. You understand? So now you just have to wait. And yeah, for some of you, they might ask you customs details required to clear your shipment. So what they asked me for was just basically my ID number. You understand? You just need your ID number to prove that it's for you and you're the owner or you're the one that's responsible for the shipment. So if anything, you know, is required or if anything goes wrong or just if anything, for any reason, they just need to verify that you're responsible for the shipment as a receiver. You understand? So once that's done, you're gonna wait and DHL, one thing I like, they communicate, like you know everything that's going on. So as you can see, the shipment was delivered on the 30th of July. The pickup date was the 25th of July at 12:33. So it basically took 5 days just to get from the Verenigde Staten to South Africa. Begrijp je? So yeah, that was it. And that's it for the shipping. So that's how you use MyUS and that's how MyUS works. And now all you have to do is just unbox your package and enjoy the items that you got.